Hi everybody and welcome to Bitwig hardware integration video part 2. Today we're going to use the polygrid to connect a modular synth via CV, control voltage. If you missed my previous episode where we looked at how to connect a synth via regular MIDI, you can click the card up here to watch that one. But today is all about using control voltage in Bitwig the Grid to drive a modular or semi-modular synth like the Make Noise O-Coast. Before we dive into the grid and Bitwig Studio, we need to talk about the gear, cables and connections used in this demo to make the signal connection work. To make this happen, we need an audio interface which has DC coupled outputs. So that we can get our control voltage signal out of Bitwig the Grid and the audio interface into our modular synth CV Trig or gate input. You will find DC coupled outputs on more expensive audio interfaces like Mo2, etc. But luckily we have the Complete Audio 6, which is only around 230 euros, which also has DC coupled outputs. Bear in mind that the Complete Audio 6 is USB powered, so it's limited to plus minus 2 volts of DC output range. Right, so what about cables? Today I'm using this RCA with 1/4 inch adapters. It's a tip sleeve type of adapter into this 3.5mm stereo jack, and I'm using this connector to connect to the synth, and we will connect these to the output of the Complete Audio 6. Right, so we have our DC signal coming from our audio interface into our synth, and now we will connect a stereo audio cable from the synth and back to our audio interface inputs 3 and 4. Actually, I have a mixer beside me here, a Mackie 16 channel mixer, but you don't have to use an external mixer. You can just connect your synth back into the audio interface inputs. Personally, I like to have an external mixer beside me so I can have more gear and more connection possibilities to the audio interface. So we have all the cabling ready now and it's time to go into Bitwig and the grid. But first I would like to present you this cup that you can grab from my website, morningdewmedia.com. We also have some sound packs for Bitwig Studio and the Vital Synth. So if you want to support my channel, just go to my website and grab a sound pack or a cup or maybe a t-shirt. Let's dive into Bitwig. Right, so now let's talk about setting up a Bitwig Studio to send the CV and receive the audio signal. So first we need to go into the dashboard, settings and the audio page here to set up our input and output buses. So the output bus will be used to send the CV signal to the synth, and I'm using the mono out 3 and 4. And we map these to output 3 and 4 like this. If you don't have these preset up, you can just add these mono or stereo outputs. The same thing for the input here. We're using the mono inputs 3 and 4. You can also use a stereo input 3 and 4 like this. And you configure these to map against the inputs of your audio interface. Let's go back to Bitwig Studio here, and we have an instrument track with a polygrid device added. And we have a second audio track here, which is the track to receive the audio back from the synth. And if we want to see what input is receiving audio, we can just press the input on the track here. And actually, you can see as I'm speaking here, we have the audio input on input 2 and a stereo input here. But if we play back this little track, we can also see that we are receiving on mono input 3 and 4 and the stereo input 3 and 4, which is the audio coming from the synth. Right, so let's go to the first track here, which is the most important one, the polygrid track. First we have a device called transport playing. It's a right click with the mouse and select IO and transport playing. And that is a gate device that's listening for the transport bar playing. So as soon as we press space and play back our little track, it will send a gate signal. Then we also have a data device with the gates, CV gates device, and it's just progressing like this according to the phase, and it will output different gate signals. Then we have this AND device, which is in the Logic's devices here, an AND device because we want to listen to if the transport bar is playing and we have a gate trigger from this little gate device. If both those are true, we are going to send a gate signal to our CV out. And you find this output, CV out, if you press IO and go to CV out. And we also have a transport bar LFO device to sync with the transport bar. And this is good because maybe we want to make divisions. So if we play this back, I will just solo this track like this. Now you can listen that I can change the division. And that is nice if you want to change the division quickly with maybe some modulators or something. So that's basically our grid device, and then the CV is sending the audio, the CV signal audio, to the mono out 4 into the O-Coast synth, to our external synth. So if we play back this track and select the CV device, you can also see the triggers that are sent from Bitwig to our synth. Okay, so basically the O-Coast has a triangle oscillator running the whole time, but we can trigger a slope envelope and a contour envelope on the O-Coast, so we can hear that triangle oscillator. We can also mix in an overtone oscillator. So let's press play and see how the O-Coast is being triggered by the Bitwig CV. Let's mix in a little bit of the overtones. And fire away the whole arrangement. Right, so that's basically how you hook up a modular or a semi-modular synth to Bitwig Studio and control it via the CV out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Now you can continue and watch my next episode. Thanks for watching today, hope to get some nice feedback and questions, and see you in the next episode. My name is Matthias, bye!
I need your energy.